It seems like the ranch is where you've been thriving in the last few years. What was it that drew you to that and made you stick with that for now?
Probably the horse.
Yeah.
This horse, he's so special. He's so much fun to show. He always gives his all when he's in the pen. He's has so much personality. He really is a special one. I know a lot of people say that about the horses, but he just makes it fun. Not only the horse, but the ranch community and environment at the shows is more relaxed, but the competitiveness is still there.
Mhm.
Like, say, in the warm-up pen, people are genuinely happy for each other and cheering each other on, cheering their competitors on, helping the new person coming in when they have questions, or if they see something happening that somebody needs help with, or if they see somebody practicing the pattern wrong, they're gonna tell them. They they help each other out, and yet the competition is fierce. These girls and guys are it's tough competition, man, and these horses just keep getting so much more talented year after year, and I think that's what's been keeping me in is the environment.
Welcome to Elevate Your Ride, the podcast dedicated to elevating your performance in the saddle. I'm Ellie, your personal trainer.
And I'm Lauren, your mindset coach. Today, we are excited to have on Carly Estreich-Lueck. She is an AQHA Reserve World Champion, NSBA World and Reserve World Champion, and she is fresh off a win at the NSBA World Championship show in the inaugural Ranch Horsemanship class. We are so excited to hear about Carly's journey as she has gone from the English arena to the ranch arena and mixed in horsemanship through all of this. She is an incredible rider and also an incredible braider. So I'm sure you guys have seen her going around and making sure all of our horses look absolutely beautiful. So we can't wait to hear her story and hear what the win in the ranch horsemanship meant to her. So thanks so much for coming on, Carly.
Thank you, I'm very excited to talk about this class, this new Ranch Horsemanship class.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and just start right there. Tell us about this class. When did you find out that they were offering, and how exactly is it different from ranch riding?
Yeah, so I honestly didn't really know about it. It wasn't on my radar. What actually has been on my radar recently is that green non-pro horsemanship class that AQHA has been putting on. And about, I want to say a month or so ago, well, before NSBA World Show, now it's been a couple months, Leslie Lang, my trainer, came up to me and told me about it and explained a little bit about it to me because she's one of the members on the committee and the task force that is trying to get this class rolling. And she explained it to me that they were going to do the inaugural class here at NSBA and that I should give it a shot. She told me that this is kind of Holly Hover's brainchild, and I was like, wanted more information about it. My first thought was, is it gonna be judged on what, like, the traditional horsemanship class that we had now, judged on our positioning, or is it gonna be judged more on the horse and rider combination? Like, I just wanted more information about it. So, yeah, we're just interested in learning more about it. Reached out to Holly, and yeah, at the NSBA, we had a meeting about it so everyone could kind of learn more about the class. And the NSBA this year was kind of the kickoff for it.
So what were they looking for in that class?
So since it was an inaugural class, it was the first class or the first time that it was being held. That's kind of a hard question to
Yeah.
answer. And I talked to Holly and I was like, "Okay, well, explain it a little bit to me." And so it's very, if I'm understanding it correctly, and again, this was very new to me, I just learned about it a few months ago.
Yeah.
Um, They want it to be different than our traditional horsemanship class that we see today in the regular AQHA classes. They want it to bring it back more to the old tradition, like the foundation of a rider, the foundation of a horseman.
Hmm.
Um, so more judged on how the rider can thoughtfully and effectively ride the pattern to the best of their ability and their horse's ability, and how they can do each maneuver based on like a horseman's aspect, to showcase the horseman's aspect. So not necessarily judged on our position.
Hmm.
So, if you will, in our traditional horsemanship class, it's based on how you sit. It's based on your elbows, your shoulders, your leg positioning. And it's a very strict class on you don't want to move your hands too much. You don't want to move your head. You don't want to move your feet. Right, right? And
Yeah.
so in this class, it's gonna be judged. Yes, you wanna be able to sit your horse comfortably and make the overall appearance look good or natural, like a correct and natural position, but it's gonna be judged more based on how you effectively get your horse to do each maneuver. So think of it more on the basis of a horseman aspect, not your positioning. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I would imagine so like, like you talked about, the classic horsemanship look is, extremely strong posture, tight, strong elbows, a really strong connection from your ear to your shoulder to your hips to your feet. A lot of movement, but not movement at the same time, like movement that flows with the horse and makes it look like you're not moving. And so that is super, super traditional horsemanship. And then I would imagine that some of those things are still important. Like they still want to see people with good posture, but they don't care as much about heels down or if you move your head or if you move your hands, like that sort of stuff, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
yes. I heard someone in the meeting, when they were talking to us about it at NSBA, they want it to be more of a class of how do you create the maneuver, not just sit the maneuver.
Like a horseman and feel like they're judging for
Correct,
feel.
correct. And the other big thing that they wanna stress is they don't want this class to turn into a penalty-driven class.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So
So,
how do we stay away
yeah.
from that?
Yeah, so they want it to be, and the example that they gave in the meeting that we had was, say you need to, in the pattern we had to do, you did an extended trot up through a chute, stopped, and then you had to spin each direction at 1 360 each direction. So say you're doing an extended trot, and that's one more thing. If your horse does an extended trot better where you're standing out of the stirrup or out of the saddle better, that, or if yours does an extended trot better posting, either way is fine. You can do either one, it doesn't matter. Whatever way best exhibits your horse. So then you stop and you spin. Your first spin, say your horse backs up a few steps. Well, in order to get the next spin to be performed correctly, you're going to have to move your horse forward into that spin in order to perform the next maneuver correctly. Versus if you aren't aware of that, aren't aware of your horse's body position, and you just whip into the next spin, well, then your first couple steps are gonna be back, and that's not correct,
Huh.
Right.
And
right? So
Yeah.
it could be a credit earning maneuver to move your horse up a step to get that correct turn.
So that would be like I'm watching the reining class and Casey Deary or Andrea Fapani, they'll take one step forward and then go into that spin because then that horse is performing a forward movement. Would it be
And
similar to kind of
it's
that?
a credit earning spin.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, so that's
Whereas
kinda
if
nice.
you think in the traditional horsemanship sense, if you were to do that in a
Yeah,
horsemanship
you can't do
pattern,
that.
it would be a penalty or
Yeah.
it would be a deduction in the maneuver. Well,
Really like that.
yeah, so that's what they mean when they don't want it to become a penalty-driven class.
So how did you prepare mentally then for a class that was not only brand new, but slightly counterintuitive to the horsemanship that you had been kind of gearing up for the rest of the year?
You know, that's kind of a hard question, honestly, because I didn't really at this point in time when I was preparing for it, I didn't really at that point know what I was preparing for
Mhm.
because we didn't have guidelines posted yet on what it was. We didn't really know what it was going to be judged on yet. We had that meeting at NSB at the show.
Did that make it
So,
more fun for you, or was that more stressful?
I think it was I don't think either.
Yeah.
Honestly, just because it was since and that too, it was just part of the Show Your Colors. It wasn't part of the NSBA World Show yet.
Mhm.
Which I wanna talk about that a little bit for the future of the class that Holly and Sissy Shank have been doing for this class, but at this point, it was maybe just something fun, and it was
Yep.
something new and exciting that we wanted to do, so I don't know if I was putting a whole lot of pressure on myself for it at that point just because I didn't know. Now that I do know, and now that there's a lot of interest for this class, and I'm going to absolutely be working more towards it.
Was
Work
there a lot of participation?
I believe I'd have to look it up. I do believe that there were maybe 20 or so entered, and I do believe 14 or 15 showed.
I think that's great. And could you show
Yeah.
any type of horse, or does it strictly need to be a ranch horse?
Nope, you can show any horse. The only restriction is that a ranch horsemanship horse cannot cross enter into any other Western horsemanship class at the same show.
I mean, that makes
So that
sense.
and that lines up with our other ranch horse rules. So, for instance, our working ranch on the rail, you can't show that same horse in a pleasure class.
Yeah, yeah.
So it kind of coincides with those rules.
Okay. How did you like
Mhm.
showing in this type of horsemanship class versus like a traditional horsemanship class?
It was different. It was absolutely different because when you I mean, it's kind of a mind game. When you hear horsemanship, obviously for us who have been showing in the all around traditional horsemanship class, of course, you're going to think elbows tight, shoulders back, don't move your hand. Well, you're not going to get penalized for that in this class. So it definitely takes a little bit of the pressure off, but there's still going to be that competitive edge to it.
What was your favorite part about it?
There's 2 parts. I always love when they ask for speed in a class. So we did have a right lead speed circle down to a collected lobe. I always love when those, maneuvers are added into a pattern, and they actually did do trot overs.
Oh,
I
fun.
think that's kinda cool, and it kinda even made me think, "Why don't we add poles to our horsemanship classes, the
Yeah,
traditional horsemanship classes?"
I really want the Western versatility to become more and more popular and to see it at like more of our normal local shows and that it not to just be like a futurity type class. Like, and I don't even need like the pleasure and the halter part of it, just like the actual like, pulls and lead changes and horsemanship elements, like all the all around classes kind of combined into one. I would love to see that become more popular. I think that it's so much fun and good for the horses.
Yeah. Add a little something different.
Yeah, yeah, not just make it completely the same, give us a new class to look forward to and to have fun with. I think it would be really
Well,
cool.
it would be interesting too because, I believe it was 2 years ago, I was talking to Lainey DeBoer about the equitation at the World Show,
Yeah.
and she had suggested about adding a ground pole to the World Show finals equitation pattern,
I do love
and
that.
I thought that was I did a little bit of the hunters, and I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
It just adds something a little different into the finals pattern, but
Yeah, and I mean, that's what the class is supposed to be preparing you for anyway. It's supposed to be preparing you to go over a jump. So a ground pole should, in theory, be part of that. So
right.
that's kind of interesting that we don't already have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just an interesting take on it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So
So, I wanna, stroke your ego a little bit. Why do you think why do you think you won this year?
Us I have to give a lot of my credit to my horse. He's just the best.
It's
Well, and you
awesome.
guys have a great partnership too.
We really do. He has so much rhythm. Um, he just makes it look so effortless, and I can always count on him. It's a pretty picture, and he's I don't know what else to say about him.
Yeah,
He really is just a great horse.
and he does whatever you ask, because like you said,
Yes.
I remember at Sun Circuit when they had the green, you were showing in the green class, right? The
Yes,
horsemanship,
yes,
and
yes,
you did great.
that was our first show trying it, yeah.
Yeah. So I have a few more questions about the ranch horsemanship class. So in our
Yeah.
regular horsemanship, yes, you still presented him as a ranch horse that was put together and he looked amazing. Did you ride him the same way in that ranch horsemanship with like some connection and like, your elbows in, arms up,
Mhm.
that kind of thing? Or did you have a looser, almost ranch riding type look and feel?
Yeah, so I definitely did not ride him like I have been for, say, the green horsemanship class.
Hmm.
When I've been practicing for that class, he gets his head too low for the ranch classes.
Hmm.
And that's actually I was planning on showing him, before I found out about this class, I was planning on showing him in the green horsemanship at NSBA, but that class and the ranch riding fell on the same day,
Oh.
and it was actually in 2 different arenas, and they were going to be showing at the exact same
Of
time.
course.
Always.
And I could have done it. I have a great team behind me, and I could have done it. But when I do the horsemanship on him, I have him so collected and so in tune that he just gets his head down too low for the ranch riding. And it takes a little while to get him to free back up and get his head and neck positioning back up for the ranch riding.
Mhm.
So, I chose not to do that, and then then this ranch horsemanship class came in, and I was like, "Oh, well, that just worked out perfect."
Absolutely.
So, in the ranch horsemanship class, absolutely, I rode him on a little looser rein, but you still have to have connection. You cannot go in there with a loose rein. They don't wanna see that. You still have to be connected with your horse, but his head and neck was able to come into that natural head position that they like in the ranch. I mean, my elbow was in, it wasn't super tight, it was just more just like a relaxed ride. I was a little bit more aware of my body position than I am in the regular ranch riding class. But I mean, you girls know it when you ride a lot, you have your position. It kinda
Right.
comes second nature, you know?
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, definitely not like the traditional horsemanship where, I mean, I'm always second guessing. Do I have my elbows in? Do I have my shoulders back?
Yeah. Is there
Um,
rail work in this class?
there is not real work.
That's
No.
nice.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I
Well,
guess that makes sense because it's not about your positioning, and that's kind of what the rail work is for.
Yeah. And that was an interesting thing when I was talking to Holly Hover about this class that she brought up. So I guess traditionally, like on the West Coast, she said in the like stock seat associations, the horsemanship, the pattern was judged on how you would effectively do those maneuvers. And then you would come back on the rail. And then the rail was what you were judged on your positioning.
Mhm.
really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
I that's kind of how I've always thought about the rail work, and I'm on the West Coast. Like, that's kind of what I
Yeah.
was always told from everybody up here that that's what it was for.
Yeah, so that's what she was trying to explain. So think of the ranch horsemanship as the pattern portion of that, of the stock seat.
Interesting.
Are you looking for that extra competitive edge, struggling with show pen anxiety, or looking to set and achieve meaningful goals with your horse? Schedule a session with me, Lauren, your dedicated mindset coach. As an experienced competitor, I understand the mental demands required to excel at the highest level, and I'm here to support you in building a plan to help you stay accountable and reaching those goals. For more information, check out laurencarvelli.com or click on the website link in our show notes. Let's work together to elevate your ride.
Hi, everyone. It's your personal trainer, Ellie. If you're looking to become a stronger, more balanced, and flexible rider, I'm here to help. I offer virtual personal training sessions and customized workout plans that you can complete on your own. As a fellow competitor, I understand the physical demands riding requires, and my goal is to help you perform your best for your horse, whether you're preparing for a show or just want to improve your everyday rides. Visit lopindowntherailfitness.com or click on my website tab in the notes of this podcast episode to learn more. Let's work together to elevate your ride. So, what did you like about the pattern that you did at NSBA? And is there anything that you would have done differently to prepare for it? Like if you did it again, like either physically or mentally for you, or any sort of different preparation for your horse?
Like I said before, I really enjoy when they add speed elements to a pattern. I thought that was pretty cool. I love the poles, the trot poles being entered in. The one thing that I would have liked is if they would have had the lead change was through the walk in this pattern. I would have liked for them to have done either like a simple like called for a simple lead change or a flying. Holly did say that in the future they're going to want to hopefully level it. What kind of in regards to how the reiners level 1, 2, 3, 4, and the patterns will get harder as you go up in level. So I would have loved to see like a lead change option in there. As far as preparing better, um, I always feel like I need to work on with my horse when it's a turn either direction, one right after the other, and he got me a little bit here in this pattern was after the first turn, I always have to send him a little forward to get that second spin. He is an ex-cutter.
Oh.
So in his spins, he always tends to go backwards a little in his spins. So I always have to be aware of that and move him forward in his next spin. So
Well, at least with this class, you're allowed to do that.
exactly. And it's not a penalty.
Honestly, that would be so nice. I feel like there's so many horses that, start with a different career, whether it's like yours in the ranch for the cutting. Some
Mhm.
of the pleasure horses want to come back in that turn, correct?
Yeah.
Like it
Mhm.
would just be so nice to be able to take that step forward and then show off what you can do because I think a lot of horses would be set up for success so much better if we could do that.
Right.
And for the riders too, think about, the novice or green riders that mentally it's like they need that extra moment to like take a deep breath and focus on what's next. Like I think it just takes the pressure off the horse and the rider. So I really like that format. I would like to show in it at some point. It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about how the rest of the NSBA World Show went for you. How did you prepare you and your horse mentally, physically, all that sort of stuff? What did your prep look like this year?
Yeah. So my horse, he's 12 years old, so he's pretty much like training wise, he's pretty much already there. You just have to keep him physically fit and in a good headspace mentally. He's a really easygoing guy, so he doesn't really need a lot of that anyway. Um I when I'm not working, I do go out to the barn pretty much every day. What I'm not sure how Leslie feels about that, but I do go out there every day when I'm not working, so I think that also helps, with our bond, and I mean, I've been showing him for 7 years, so we have a really, really good bond. I know him really well, he knows me really well, and that helps a ton. Um but yeah, usually like a normal week, I'll go out Monday and Tuesday and just kind of get his legs stretched out. And then from there on, I'll kind of let him tell me like what we should work on each day. Um, like I said, the spins, I normally work on those, keep working on those quite a bit just because he does always want to suck back in the spins. Um, and then the other thing that we've been working a lot on lately, because they've started calling for this transition a lot, is the extended canter or extended lope to the extended trot.
Yeah.
They've started asking for that a lot in our patterns, and so I think that maneuver in particular, I've been working on a lot
I have to say that's one of my favorite
leading up to
transitions
this.
of all time. Like, I love an extended lope to an extended trot. It's just something that I feel really confident in. And I'm glad that it's been kind of popular lately because I love doing that transition. I think that if you have good, mobile, strong hips, it makes it a lot easier. Because if you don't, then it's like it's hard to stay with the motion with your body going from super forward to a little bit less forward, but down a gate. Like, it's a
Yeah.
lot of people's bodies just would prefer to suck back instead of keeping up with the range of motion. So if that's a difficult transition for you, for anybody who's listening, if you work on your hip mobility and your hip strength, it will make you a lot more confident in that transition.
Yeah. And you wouldn't think it's a hard transition, but it is.
Yeah.
Especially, my horse is very lazy too, so as soon as he's quit riding, he's like, "Alright, I can walk."
Oh, yeah, typical
Yeah.
older show
Yeah.
gelding. They're like, "Oh, you stopped
Yeah.
moving, perfect. I
Yeah.
get to
Yeah.
stop moving my feet."
So, yeah, I think that's pretty much what we've been working on, and, he was a very good horse this horse show. I was very, very proud of him.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us about how the rest of NSBA went for you.
Well, as Lauren had mentioned before, I also braid and band at the shows while I'm there. So I was there the entire show, even though the ranch stuff takes place a little later on. And I do work at the beginning portion of the show and throughout when I'm showing. So I was running around working and trying to prepare him as well, keep him happy. And yeah, so we showed the ranch rail, the working ranch rail. We were 3rd in that class. And
Congratulations.
thank you. He was very, very good. And then we did the ranch trail, which, if I had to say, is probably our weakest class, my weakest class. And we were 9th in that, which again, I was very, very proud of him for that.
To get ninth in your weakest class is a pretty big
I
accomplishment.
know. Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, no
Yes, and he
kidding.
was very good in it. He was a little tired, so we clumped a few logs, and that's a penalty. So I
Yeah.
think we definitely did not stay out of the penalty box in that class, but overall, he was very good.
So what about that class is challenging for you?
I'm very good at second guessing myself. Very
Oh.
good at it. Second guessing my distances. For some reason, I mean, I'll get one thing in my head and it'll stick with me that horse show. Like one distance, just one maneuver, one distance, and it'll just stick with me and for that horse show.
So what was the distance that you were, struggling with there?
Um, it's always for some reason this year it's been my left lead lope overs.
Those dang
And
rope overs.
So staying
exactly.
with and it's only the left lead, but we got our distance in the class. Our distance was fine.
Job.
Yeah, but we were just a little ticky. So our distance, we accomplished that. We were fine, but we were just a little ticky. And then what always makes me so nervous in the ranch trail is we actually have to go over hay bales. Like we have to jump over hay bales.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that's always a little nerve wracking, which I don't know why. I showed the hunters.
Well, that's what I was just gonna ask, like, you have such a strong jumping position. Is it because
Yeah.
he's so little?
No, I don't know what it is. It just gets in your head. Uh,
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
So, no, but we got that. We were good on that, and he was actually really good at that. The year before, last year in the Ranch Trail at NSBA, because at the World Show, they just use a jump, like jump standards and, like brush and trees or whatever. At NSBA, they always use hay bales, and last year was the first I believe it was the first year they did that, and he actually, like, slid to a stop and took a bite out of the
Oh my
the hay bale.
gosh.
So we have, like, dramatically improved then in a year. Good
Yes,
job.
yes, it was great. I was
Maybe
very
that's why
happy that
you're
he did not do that.
well, geez, we're trying to figure out where you're nervous from. That's probably why.
Yeah, so I was very proud of him for not doing that this year.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Absolutely.
funny. So we have this one horse. So when you show down at Rancho Marietta, part of the fence is this hedge. And we had this one youth kid that was showing her horse in the pleasure a couple of years ago. And while he was loping in the middle of the class, he just like flipped his neck upside down and grabbed a chunk out of the hedge and then didn't break
Yep.
gait, didn't nothing, just kept loping right along. It's like, gosh dang, these dang horses. They're so funny.
When they need a snack, they need a
They need a
snack.
snack. Hey, I get it. I need a snack too. I don't blame them. Some mid-race fuel, I get it, but, oh, they're just so funny.
Yes.
So do you work on
Yep.
that element much at home, jumping over a hay bale?
I should probably do it a lot more, but I don't do it a whole lot. He did get hurt a few years ago, uh, and so I don't do a whole lot of the jumping on him, but
Well,
only when necessary.
that's fair then. Yeah, if you had an
Yeah.
injury, you don't wanna push him for sure. Especially,
No, but
yeah, how old you said he was 12?
he's 12 years old, yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, he's still at that age where he can do it, so that's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, super cool.
But we do work on being in Leslie Lang's barn. There's always trail poles set out and trail obstacles set up, so we do work a lot on trail stuff, so there's always something to work on.
So since you have done multiple different disciplines between the hunters, the regular horsemanship, the ranch, it seems like the ranch is where you've been thriving in the last few years. What was it that drew you to that and made you stick with that for now?
Probably the horse.
Yeah.
This horse, he's so special. He's so much fun to show. He always gives his all when he's in the pen. He's has so much personality. He really is a special one. I know a lot of people say that about the horses, but he just makes it fun. Not only the horse, but the ranch community and environment at the shows is more relaxed, but the competitiveness is still there.
Mhm.
Like, say, in the warm-up pen, people are genuinely happy for each other and cheering each other on, cheering their competitors on, helping the new person coming in when they have questions or if they see something happening that somebody needs help with, or if they see somebody practicing the pattern wrong, they're gonna tell them. They they help each other out, and yet the competition is fierce. These girls and guys are it's tough competition, man, and these horses just keep getting so much more talented year after year, and I think that's what's been keeping me in is the environment.
Yeah. I did it for a short period of time and everybody was really, really friendly. So I could see how that would be a big draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of support and the patterns are really fun too. And like you
Mhm.
said earlier, just with the more forward, that is a fun
Yep.
way to show a horse, right?
Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
it's fun to push them and say, yes, go, rather than be like, oh, come back, come back, come back.
And it takes a while to get used to that when you come from the all around world. It took me a few years to get comfortable with going fast.
Yeah. And so then what about the green horsemanship class made
Mhm.
you say, "Yeah, I'm ready to go add that in a little bit?"
I'm doing very well with Little Red and the ranch riding and all those classes, and I think I wanted something else to kind of work towards, maybe a new goal. And he's so handy and he's so cute, and I always love seeing like a ranch type or a reiner type horse in the horsemanship.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool look. I think he has the look. So I think maybe I wanted a newer goal with him.
Yeah, that makes sense. So will you
Yeah.
continue with the green horsemanship the rest of this year?
Yeah, my goal is to show in the green horsemanship at the World Show this year.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And I actually just looked at the qualifying list and I actually did qualify for the level 3 horsemanship on him.
Congratulations. Are you gonna
Thank
do it?
you. I'm not sure yet.
Oh, so you're saying there's a
I need
chance.
I don't know yet. I don't know if I could compete with
Ha
those girls. Those girls are pretty talented. I don't
Oh,
know if we're at that level yet.
might be worth a shot. Can you still do level 2 or are you out of that?
I believe I'm out of that. I don't think I'm level 2 anymore.
Okay, well, darn. But
I have to double check that, but on the qualifying list, it just said level 3. So
okay.
I'd have to
Oh,
double check that.
good for you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then obviously all the ranch classes at the World Show.
Correct. Yep. All 3.
Is there any chance that they would have the ranch horsemanship there?
It is not. So, as of right now, what I am told is that it is not going to be an AQHA class. Um, right now, NSBA is going to be adopting it, and it will be a stakes class next year at NSBA World Show.
Okay.
So this year it was just the show your colors. So now next year it will be added in as a stakes class. Holly Hover and Sissy Shank have committed to a 5-year period financially supporting it.
Oh,
Wow.
And
cool.
their goal is to keep finding sponsors and hopefully bringing it up to getting 25,000 added money into it.
That's
That's
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's so cool. I love that they are encouraging a new class and being all in and saying, "You know what? This doesn't happen overnight, so we're gonna put in the work to make sure that this thing can thrive."
Yeah. They've been working on this for 3 years, I think.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Mhm.
Good for them.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
And
so
I think
cool.
Holly is the perfect person to be the one bringing this in because she is always such a big advocate for being a horseman and having
Right.
feel and having connection with your horse and not just sitting there during the class. Like I always
Right.
to her placings and think, okay, she was able to pick out the horseman in the class. And I really like that she is now able to kind of foster a class for that. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so the team behind this class or the committee or task force, if you will, it has been Holly Hover, Leslie Lang, Tony Burris, Patty Campbell, Bill Caven, and Stephanie Lynn.
What a great group. I love that.
Yeah.
Every one of them are true horsemen. So that is awesome. Wow, that's so cool. I'm really glad that it's gonna keep going and growing and
Yeah.
it'll be fun. So
I'm
is
excited about it, and honestly, after the class showed and after the posts were made, I'm telling you, I got so many people coming up to me and texting me and asking me that no one had any idea about it. Even, like, Shannon McCullough was asking me about it. Kristen Brack was asking me about it. Like, a lot of other people were asking about it. They had no idea
well, and I
in it.
also yeah, I also feel like this would be a great avenue for horses that maybe can't step up and do that level 3 horsemanship where they just have to be absolutely perfect all the time. And
Mhm.
these were going to be a great class where riders can actually ride them through these maneuvers and set them up for success to show them off as well. So not only is it a great class for us as riders to be able to show off our feel, but I feel like as horses, it's going to give a lot more horses a place to go.
Hey, Elevate Your Ride fans. I wanted to take a moment to thank our very first gold sponsor, Hobby Horse Clothing Company. If you're looking for a cost effective way to elevate your look at the horse show, check out what Hobby Horse has to offer. From budget friendly crystal jackets to simple show shirts to stylish lifestyle tops, Hobby Horse has everything you need to look your best. Make sure you use code EYR2025 for an additional 10% off at checkout. Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to Elevate Your Ride. We're so excited to continue helping you elevate your performance in the saddle. To keep bringing you quality content and information, we're asking you to help us. Tell your friends about us on our podcast, like and share a meaningful quote you saw on our social media, write us a review on Spotify or Facebook. You can also join our Facebook group and ask all your health and fitness questions, or maybe post a success story to motivate another amateur. Your engagement really helps us support and encourage the equestrian community. We're also inviting sponsors and supporters to help us build our show. As a sponsor, starting at just $150, you'll receive marketing on our podcast, website, and growing social media platforms for your business. It's the perfect way to connect with the equestrian community and showcase your brand to our dedicated listeners. And for our supporters, your $50 contribution gets you a shout out on our social media and website. Every bit of support really helps fuel the show and helps us inspire and motivate equestrians. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can scroll down to the show notes of this episode and look for the become a supporter or become a sponsor links and click on those to get some more information. Thank you for listening. We can't wait to continue expanding our platform and helping you elevate your ride.
Hey, Elevate Your Ride fans. Are you loving our show and looking for a way to show your support? Check out our line of Elevate Your Ride merchandise. From stylish t-shirts to cozy hoodies to journals and hats, we have everything you need to represent your favorite podcast. Ready to gear up? Click on the Buy Our Merchandise Here link in the podcast notes, or head on over to our website, elevateyourride.co, and click on the Store tab. Thank you for your support. Make sure to like, follow, and share our platform with your friends.
Is it okay? So they passed out guidelines about the class, and I had some things highlighted that I kind of wanted to read.
Yeah, go for it.
Love that.
That better much explained than me trying to explain what it was.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
that'd be awesome.
Okay. I love how you came prepared.
Me too.
Okay. So ranch horsemanship highlights the rider's skill in performing practical maneuvers essential to everyday ranch work. The ideal pattern showcases a seamless partnership between horse and rider, demonstrated through forward-moving gaits, smooth transitions, and efficient maneuvers. The rider's position should enhance the horse's ability to execute each task with ease, maintaining a consistent, effective connection throughout the performance. The horse's frame should reflect balance as needed to execute each maneuver. The horse's head and neck should be carried in a relaxed, natural position with the poll level with or slightly above the withers. The head should not be carried behind the vertical, giving the appearance of intimidation, or be excessively nosed out, giving a resistant appearance. Ranch horsemanship is to be judged on a rider's ability to perform the required maneuvers that are observed in the ranch riding classes while maintaining an effective position. Emphasis on a correct natural position, effective pattern placement, connection with the horse through rhythm and timing while in motion and when performing maneuvers. Results, as shown by the performance of the horse, are not to be considered more important than the method used by the rider to obtain them. The rider's position should always appear effortless and in total unison with the horse. It should enhance the footwork, cadence, and degree of difficulty through each maneuver. Credit should be given to the rider having the horse in balance from leg, seat, and hand, maintaining the correct cadence at all gates. Credit will be given to riders who are effective and connected with their horse, making their performance appear effortless.
Is there anything in there that says about tack or clothing for the rider and the horse?
Yeah, I was curious about that too. Like, do you wear what did you wear for you and your horse, Carly?
I just wore what I wore in the like I would in ranch riding.
Okay. So
Yeah.
like a button up and a nicely shaped hat and normal rough out
Yep.
straps.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Is
Let's
silver
see.
allowed, or is this a no silver as well?
So I would think that since it states, let me see if I can find it here. Since it's in the realm of a ranch class, I would say very minimal silver, like we do
Okay.
in the ranch classes.
That makes sense.
Yes,
And-
let me find the thing. Appropriate Western attire must be worn. Clothes and person are to be neat and clean. For all attire equipment rules, refer to the NSBA rules 136, 137, and 207. So I think that it would probably be based on what you would wear as for the ranch classes.
Do you
Yeah,
put in
that
a
makes
fake
sense.
tail for the ranch?
No, so you can't have any bands, braids, hoof blap, fake tail. Everything has to be natural.
Do you miss that
I
sort of
love
because
that.
you used to show
No.
I was gonna ask, do
No,
you miss that sort of stuff and doing oh my gosh, it takes so much time to put it all in. I don't blame you for
no,
not missing
I
it.
don't miss it at all. I don't even clip the inside of my horse's ears.
Oh my
Oh, do you know
gosh.
how much nicer that would be and less of a struggle? That was always like when I would have my young horses, one of my biggest things. I would just spend hours so that way my horse could let me walk up to it and clip it without any twitches, just keeps his head down. But
Yep,
gosh dang, it takes
forever.
so long to teach them
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, we in the barn, we clip the muzzles of the ranch horses, but you don't even have to do that if you don't want to. You're not penalized if you do it. But yeah, I don't even clip the inside of his ears. I don't clip his little fetlocks on his ankles. They're so cute.
Right?
So the little
And he has
feathers.
like the little feathers in his ears. He has little like lynx feathers in his ears, and they're so cute. So I just leave them.
So I know that, like you mentioned earlier, that the ranch is way more laid back, but that it's still really competitive. Do you prepare yourself differently for the ranch classes than you would the all around classes mentally? Like, how does that work when it's more laid back, but also just as competitive? You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, no. Like, I have a really good team behind me that helps keep the horse prepared, and, I've been with Leslie for going on 11 years now, so
Wow.
she knows how I get. I tend I if I had to say what I do, like my nervous tick, what I do is I'll always latch on to one thing that isn't going perfect in warm up, and I'll latch on to that one thing. And I'll either tell her, "Okay, this is what I'm latching on to," or she'll see it, and she's very good at trying to, steer me away from that, or she's very good at saying, "Okay, you're latching onto that, you need to move on. It's fine. Quit worrying about that one thing." Or if I'm struggling with something, she'll jump on 'em and show me what it looks like, and once I see that it doesn't look as bad that I'm feeling or what I'm feeling, then that helps calm my nerves. I'm a very visual learner, so if I'm feeling that something isn't going right, if I can see the horse do it, or if I have someone video me and I can see what it's looking like, that helps calm me down.
It's really nice that you have such a good, strong relationship with your trainer that you've obviously built up for over a decade that, she probably knows you so well that if you say, "Hey, Leslie, I'm struggling with this," she can probably quickly be like, "Nope, don't even worry about it. Like you've got it," or something
Yeah.
like that. So that's really cool that you have that relationship with your trainer. That's something that
Yep.
I feel like every amateur is always striving to find is that sort of relationship that it's strong and you guys have a good line of communication and you know what the other one is thinking. Like that's I feel like what everybody's always looking for. And that probably plays a big role in why you're so successful in the pen.
Yeah. All I have to do is look at her and be like, "Am I overthinking this?" And she
Yeah.
she laughs and says, "Absolutely." I'm like, "Okay, thanks. That's all I need to know."
That's awesome.
A and thinking back, a lot of the amateurs that we've interviewed have had long-term relationships with their trainers, and I think
Yeah.
it not only can offer, like, a lot of stability, but you just have somebody that you trust and you can rely on, like, right? Like, we think about Angela and High Point with Paige and Sarah, Lila and Sarah.
Hmm.
Um, it's just like all these great riders have multiple years, if not decade-long experiences that have helped develop them into these great teams.
Absolutely. Well, you think about it, you spend so much time with each other and they spend so much time with your horses that they not only know your horses so well, but because you've spent so much time with them in a high stress environment, going to learn each other
Mhm. Yeah, and
no
that's a
matter
really good
what.
point too about the horses, right? Because you spend so much time with them that or with your trainer that everything that they're doing for the horse, everybody just speaks the same language. So
Right.
there's no question marks of who does what, when, where.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool because yeah, you guys have a really great thing and it's been fun too because she's helped you like back when you did that quotation and when the horsemanship. So it's been probably fun to evolve through the different disciplines with her as a team too, and just explore things together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When did you make the switch over into the ranch riding, Carly?
7 years ago?
Has it been
Okay.
that long?
Yeah. I've been showing that 7 years.
I think you said earlier that it was because of your horse, but why did you get your current horse in the first place?
So Leslie had gotten him from Gary Roberts, and he came into the barn, and he was just a cute little horse. And I really didn't know about the ranch riding a whole lot then, and she was like, "This is gonna be really cute. It's going to be a cute team." And I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot."
So you
And
weren't
look
even
at you
And
now.
look at us now.
yeah, so you weren't even necessarily looking to get into the ranch riding. It just kind of fell into your lap.
It did kind of follow, yeah, because I was showing the equitation and stuff at the time. Like, I was still in the all-around world, yeah. It had been around for a while, I just didn't really know a whole lot about it until Little Red came into to my life.
Aw. Do you miss showing the English and showing the Eck at all?
I do, I do, but, I mean, how can you not miss showing Colin?
Right. Oh, so nice. Well, and I just remember when you were doing that, like, you were so strong. I remember we were getting ready for the world show and I was talking to you and you're like, I took my stirrups off. I don't even think my foot has come out of them. And you have taken them completely off. Like, you were so strong. And
Yeah.
like, what kind
I'm
of
not
drove
that
that?
strong anymore.
Well, you still look strong. So you fooled
Thank you.
us.
Thank you. No, I mean, when you have a horse like Colin to show in the equitation, I mean, you work your butt off.
Yeah, because you wanna show him to the best of his ability.
Absolutely.
So what did that look like for you?
Absolutely.
How were you preparing yourself to be able to be so strong for showing the Eck with him? Because it is true, if you're gonna show the Eck, you do really, really have
Yeah,
to work on your strength.
absolutely. And that's why I really love that class is because you have to be so strong for that class, especially at the world show level, especially now because they're calling for so much of the pattern work to be without irons.
Yeah.
Like, you can't there's no way you can just fly by the seat of your pants on that class. So when I was doing that class with Colin, I was riding with Ryan Painter at the time, so I was going down to Texas a lot and working with the hunters and just jumping and taking jumping lessons. You're in your 2 points so long that you don't even realize that you're working out at that point. You don't even realize that you're working on your leg strength. So just going down to Ryan's and riding so much helped a ton, and then when I'm home in Colorado, I there's this place called Spanga, and it's a 3-circuit workout deal where you do, I think it was 30 minutes of spin, 30 minutes of strength training, and 30 minutes of, like, stretching and yoga,
Yeah,
but
I love it.
strengths wise, yeah. So I was doing that a lot, and then, obviously going to Leslie's and riding as much as possible there, and I was riding anything and everything without irons. I just throw an English saddle on the ranch horse and without irons and do as much as possible with that, and, I mean, you're not get the only way you're gonna get strong without irons is to just do it.
Mhm.
No matter how
That's the
many hours
truth.
you spend no matter how many hours you spend in the gym or working out, I mean, you can get leg strength, but you're only gonna get the leg strength by just going and doing it.
Yeah, it's
That's the
like
only
you
way you're gonna
set
get it.
yourself up for success by going to the gym and making sure that your leg muscles are strong and everything, but it's true. Like, I always tell people that working out is not going to replace riding, but it's sure as heck going to
Right.
make it a lot easier, and it's gonna fill in the
Mhm.
gaps for if you can't ride consistently. Like, if you could ride 5, 6 days a week, I'm not quite as concerned about somebody having to really focus on their leg strength. I might focus on other things with that type of person, but if somebody can only ride once a week or once a month. You have to be working out if you want your legs to be strong and be stable
Absolutely.
for you. Otherwise, that's just not enough. You can't. I think that you have to ride multiple times a week, like 3 plus days a week, if you are trying to not work out but still feel strong in the saddle.
Absolutely.
Do you still put in time at a gym now?
Yeah. I knew you were gonna ask that question, and
We can
then
we can skip that one.
I am sad to say I do not. I hate the gym.
It's
Oh,
it's
I
not for
am ter
everyone.
I take it back. I don't hate the gym. When I get there, I love it. Getting there is the problem. No, so I do not go to the gym. However, living in Colorado, my husband and I, we do live a very active lifestyle.
That's awesome.
So we are always hiking. We're always paddle boarding. This year we didn't get a chance to go and do it, but like uh, for the last 5, 6 years, we make sure we always go and do a 14er every year.
That's
So
awesome.
we lead a very active lifestyle, and I think that helps. And like I said before, when I'm not working, I'm out at the barn pretty much every day, and
That's
I'm
awesome.
riding. So
What do you
yeah.
do for work, Carly?
So I braid and band.
Oh,
That's
that's
what I
like your
do.
full-time job?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, that is
Yep.
she's
so cool.
busy.
Yeah. So my main job is I braid on the hunter jumper circuit, and
Oh,
their shows, yeah, their shows go for weeks on end, and they
wow.
actually take their braids out every single day. So
Yeah.
I'll work nights, which is difficult, but I work nights, and it's every Tuesday night through Saturday night, and yeah, it's crazy. So then when I go to the quarter horse shows and I'm working and showing, it's very difficult.
It
How
it
do
it
you
is
handle the
hard.
lack of sleep?
Lots of Starbucks. Lots of
Yeah.
Starbucks. I have very, very good clients who keep me caffeinated with Starbucks.
Yeah, it
Wow,
makes
yeah,
sense.
good for you.
Yeah, it is hard to be a working amateur at a horse show. It's not easy. I'm pretty much always working anytime I'm ever at a horse show, and it can be mentally exhausting to have to work all day and then go and show and ride your horse and prepare and
Yeah.
bathe, and it's a lot. So props to you for braiding and banding. Michelle Guerra does that a lot too, where she braids and bands at the horse
Yes.
shows that she shows
And
at, and I'm like, "You guys are crazy. Good for you." That's a
yeah.
lot. But that's awesome that you're doing it for the hunter jumper circuit, because yeah, like you said, they take out the bands and the braids every night. That's probably way more cost effective for you than doing it at the
Yeah.
quarter horse shows, because you just do it once, maybe twice. I mean, depending on how long the show is, but it's not you probably don't make near as much money doing the quarter horse stuff.
No, my main income are the hunter jumper shows, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But scheduling and organization is absolute key at the quarter horse shows. You'll always see on my social media where I'm post on my business page, I'm like, get me your schedules. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
important. Like you may think one or two changes in your schedule don't affect me, but it greatly affects me in my schedule, especially if
Yeah.
I'm showing.
Yeah, PSA for everybody listening. Give your
Yeah,
bander and your
get me
braider
those.
proper
Congress
information.
Congress is coming up, everyone. And
Get on the list.
get me one of those, please.
Have you
Yeah,
always been
absolutely.
how long have you been doing this? Did you work another job before you started doing this full time?
S I mean, I through my 20s and stuff, I worked stuff here and there, but I've mainly been doing this since I was 18,
That's
pretty much.
awesome.
Yeah, so I've been doing it a really long time.
Wow. Was the main goal with doing this so that way it would be easier for you to like travel and show horses and all that sort of stuff?
I don't even know if it was really a goal, it just kind of morphed into a business, and it just kind of worked out and stuck.
That's so cool. I love other people that kinda carve
Yeah.
their way into the horse industry as an amateur to, make it work so they can go to the horse shows and do what they love, because it's so hard to be a 9 to 5 amateur who horse shows. Like, it's just
Absolutely.
it's not easy. So it's really cool that you do that because it allows you to show
Yeah,
horses.
and when I'm working very hard. It's a very physical job. There's times, at NSBA, this last NSBA, there was a day where I was awake and working for about 22 hours straight, and
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
that wasn't just being awake. That was on the ladder working and only sitting down for in the car driving to the next barn.
Wow.
So that was it can be very, very difficult, but it's a trade-off, because when I have my off time, it's lovely. I can do what I need to do. I can go out to the barn every day and put the time in. I can make my own schedule. It's allowed me the lifestyle to be able to go and show these horses, so
Yeah, for sure. So, what do you do to take care of your body on those long banding days? Like, do you foam roll? Do you stretch? Do you eat really well? Like, how do you take care of your body so that it can do that for you?
yeah, so I do take a collapsible foam roller with me, and
Awesome.
I make sure to do that every time I go to bed. I do sleep in compression gloves. I look really silly, but I do sleep in compression gloves for my hand.
Mhm.
Um, I do actually have a I do follow more of a plant-based diet, and I've noticed by doing that, it's actually helped with the inflammation
Yeah.
and stuff in my joint, and that has helped quite a bit. I noticed when I started going more plant-based, I've noticed a lot less ibuprofen taking a lot less
Yeah.
ibuprofen and painkillers and stuff like that. Obviously, on my 22-hour stints, I need that, but, um yeah, lots and lots of water. I'm a
Yeah.
huge proponent of water. I will always, always, always be drinking water. I don't drink alcohol and stuff when I'm working and doing those big long stints. I make sure to meal plan as best as I can. I try to, at those longer shows, rent a house where it has a kitchen, and I try to do meal planning with healthy meals, and I feel like that has helped me the best.
The anti-inflammatory diet when you're doing something that causes a lot of inflammation. So a lot of people who are full-time banders or braiders or people who work with leather, people who shape hats, like people who are just doing little meticulous things with their hands, they'll develop arthritis a lot. And so I think that
Mhm.
that's awesome that you wear the compression gloves at night. I think that that is so necessary for your hands. That probably helps a lot. And then the anti-inflammatory diet, yeah, trying to not eat a lot of processed foods, I bet makes you feel so much better.
Yes, absolutely. The other thing, that I've started doing that has helped quite a bit is when I'm really, really busy and my arms and hands and wrists are bothering me is, Shelley Grissom has actually I'll go see her, and she really helps me out. I use a cold laser on my hands, which has really
Yeah.
been helping a lot as well.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering if you did any, like, type of therapy type thing like that, because I bet that that is really, really helpful for, like, your pain management in your hands, especially if you're showing.
Yes. Yes. And I do have a beamer, and I do beamer my arms.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. We have a PEMF machine in the barn, and I use it on my back all the time, and actually, when I was at level 1, I got really, really bad shin splints and, pooling of fluid in my legs just from walking on the concrete so much, and, I used our PEMF machine, and it made a huge difference in making my feet feel better. So I
Absolutely.
use it all the time.
Yes. So I do have a beamer, and that helps as well. I'll when my arms and wrists are bothering me, I'll throw those on.
Yeah, just those types of therapies are just so helpful, and I love it, and I'm sure you do that sort of stuff for your horse too. I think it's one thing about when you're working really hard and thinking about, the type of therapies or medications or things that you need, think about what your horse needs too. Like, I'm a big proponent of trying to treat anytime that I'm showing a horse them as much as an athlete as I can. So if I had a hard ride, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to cold hose. I'm going to make sure that they eat after. Like, I'm going to make sure that I do a lot of walking before and after my ride. Like, I try to treat the horse as much as I would train a human athlete as possible. And I think that that's really, really important. So doing the PEMP therapy, the cold water, the Cairo, all that sort of stuff, I think is just so, so important. So that's awesome that you have a beamer. I'm sure your horse absolutely loves it.
Yes, yes, he does.
This episode of Elevate Your Ride is brought to you by our bronze sponsor, Abby Antes of Second Chance Show Clothing. Make sure you check them out for all your secondhand show clothing needs, whether you're buying or selling. Their link is in the show notes of this podcast episode.
Thank you for listening to Elevate Your Ride. Find us on Instagram and Facebook, all linked in the podcast notes. We'll see you next time. The information provided by Elevate Your Ride is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as medical or professional advice. While we discuss health and fitness topics related to equestrians, the content provided through this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. The views expressed by the host and guests on Elevate Your Ride are their own and should not be taken as professional guidance. We strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, but we cannot guarantee that the information will be applicable to every individual listener or that it reflects the most current research or guidelines. Before making any changes to your health and fitness routine, we strongly recommend consulting with a qualified professional who can provide personalized advice based on your individual needs and circumstances. Elevate Your Ride and its creators will not be liable for any direct, indirect, consequential, special, exemplary, or other damages arising from the use of information on this podcast. Thank you for listening to Elevate Your Ride. We are committed to providing high quality content and appreciate your trust in us as a source of information for your health and fitness journey.